Welcome to the Nightly Rant
with
your hosts, Mike
and Toria.
This is the show where we examine society from a sarcastic point of view.
If you like insane conversations, this is definitely the show for you.
Let's get into today's topic. YPN people, I don't know about you, but I love helping out a friend. That's why I want to shout out my friend Brian Little and his podcast, Your Favorite Blockhead. This is the only show that manages to weave together peanuts and MMA into one heck of an amazing podcast. You can find Your Favorite Blockhead wherever your favorite podcasts reside and at yourfavoriteblockhead.com. Do me a huge favor and listen to Brian's show. You'll be entertained and you'll help out a friend. Now, as I said, let's get into today's topic. Let me ask you a question.
No.
I'm going to ask anyway. Do you like vacations?
Maybe.
What do you like about vacations?
Not being in our house.
So just being away from here. What do you hate
it's not
about
our
vacations?
house. I don't think I hate anything about vacations.
I hate spending the money.
Well,
It's just expensive to go on vacation.
that's fair.
Really expensive to go on vacation.
But to be fair, all the vacations we've gone on in the last, let's say, 6 months have been completely worth the money we spent on them.
Yes, but it costs money, you know. And I ask you this because, you know, maybe it was deja vu back to yesterday when Mariano, our boy, asked you what you like about vacationing.
I believe I said not being
At home.
where there are 3,200 people per square mile.
Yeah. So with that, we went yesterday. So, okay, let's rewind. We had a really weird experience where we went to a Ducks game. It was supposed to be a date night. And we had gotten the tickets for free by getting a quote for insurance from Mercury Car Insurance. So we got free tickets, show up to the game. Before the game, we're walking along, and this guy stops us and is like, "Hey, do you guys like to travel?" We're like, sometimes. And so he suckered us, and I do say suckered us, into going all the way down to San Diego for a presentation with the Welk Resorts.
I don't feel suckered.
What did we get out of this anyway?
We got a $200 ticket voucher for a sporting event. We got a 7-night stay in a hotel in one of like 25 destinations. And then we're supposed to get another gift, but I didn't have time to call today.
Yeah. You know, so we got all that, and then like that game was weird because that was the game that at like 8 minutes left in the first period, the guy had a heart attack, and they stopped the whole game and canceled it. It was really weird.
Yeah.
But let's talk about this. So you know, we climbed into the Red Horse, and we galloped down the highway.
You're so weird.
Into the depths of San Diego County.
Yeah, it's way inland.
We were all the way inland. There were like mountains and lakes and rivers and stuff there.
There was like not a hint of ocean where we were.
Yeah, it was inland. And we pull up to this place, and it's like the surroundings are beautiful, like just super beautiful. And you know, it's a resort. That's what it is. And
it was gorgeous. There was like golf courses and pools and playgrounds and
yeah, and just greenery, really nice buildings it was super clean. And that was one thing I always look at, and it was clean. Like, my gosh.
You would not be offended to win like a 2-night stay there. Put it that way. You'd be happy, happy, happy.
So, you know, we knew what we were getting into when we went there. So we go inside, and, you know, they give us a number and tell us to sit down. And all of a sudden, this Mariano appears out of nowhere.
He was a nice dude.
And he talks to you first and me second. Now, that's important to remember going forward because we have something to say about that. But you first, then me second. So first the woman, then the man. And in fact, in the beginning, I was pushed to the back burner.
Completely.
I didn't matter. All the focus was on you, where you're from, what you like to do, what you do for a living, etc., etc.,
It was
etc.
100% uncomfortable.
It was all about you.
Uncomfortable.
And they asked a lot of questions about, you know, what do we like about vacationing? How much money do we spend on vacations? How often do we vacation in a year? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know, and his eyes were getting bigger and bigger the more we talked about the more recent vacations we took. And I was thinking about it's ironic. If we had done the same thing last year, we would have looked at him and went, we don't vacation.
Well, exactly. 2019 was our year of trip.
It's just kind of funny when you think about it.
It was kind of great, though.
A year makes a big difference. But
right.
then Then he like focused on me a little bit, asked me similar questions, and like I could clearly tell it was an afterthought. Then we went on a little tour, and he showed us like the grounds, and there was like a barbecue pit, and then there was another place where they had like a wine tasting every night.
Did you see the vineyard though? The vineyard was really cool.
Yeah. And then they took us to a 1-bedroom villa and a villa suite, which was just like a small little studio. The villa was beautiful. The rooms
Absolutely
were beautiful.
gorgeous.
And then they took us to a 3-bedroom one, which you would use like if you brought family with you. It was beautiful.
And then I, like a lunatic, because I have zero filter when I think something is cool, said, "Holy crap, you could fit 11 people in that shower."
And you could.
And you could. And then the guy, what did he say?
He said you can do whatever you want. You're an owner.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was really awkward. And then I restrained my next comment, which was going to be, "Sorry, you're not invited."
If we were videoing, if we were videoing or recording, I would have said to him at that point, "Well, that's great that we can do whatever we want. So we can bring our swinger friends here."
Oh my God.
It would have. Imagine the reaction you would get.
But then we realized the 3-bedroom place could actually sleep 10 people comfortably. So you could actually have 10 or 11 people in that shower. Sweet Jesus.
It was insane. And, the whole concept is it's not a timeshare. It's a vacation club. And, they give you points for different things happening. And, like, I know for a fact that these things, like, they have events. And if you show up at the event, you get so many points. And then they'll have a thing where at Christmas time they want you to adopt a person from Nigeria or wherever, Kenya, and if you do that they give you so many points, and for every month that you keep it up they give you so many points, and then like if you send your friends and you let them use your discounts you get points. If you convince your friends to come to the presentation we went to you get points. You get my point. No pun intended. But there's lots of points.
You don't get our points, though.
A lot of points that you get. And then you can use those points to pay for time, rooms at various places. And it was very interesting because they do this whole dramatic thing where the manager comes out and, he introduces himself. And then he pulls out this book and he starts writing things in there and circling things. And he writes 120,000. And Mariano goes, "Well, we're going to go take our tour now, but, manager's going to give you a better price than that when we come back. I promise you that. But that's the actual price right there." And we're looking at each other like, yeah, right. Who's paying $120,000 for a vacation club? That is the biggest bunch of bullshit. I mean, hell, I think I'm going to sell an ebook for $9.95, but I'm going to put $9,473,756 with a line through it. On sale now, $9.95.
That'd be pretty funny. I would laugh.
I mean, come on. That's basically what they did. So we go on the tour, we come back from the tour, and sure enough, here comes the manager dude. And he's like, "Well, normally it's this much money, but then, we're having a problem with," this one blows my mind. "We're having a problem with our system. We have a new system, and it's a little slow. So we're giving you a speed discount of $4,000 off of like $30,000. And it goes down to like $26,000. It was like $29,990 or something like that.
Yeah.
And so it goes down to like $25,990, and then he's like, "Oh, do you guys do this? Do you guys do that?" And he was trying to give us like an industry discount. Couldn't do that. So then he just like pulled a discount out of his butthole and said, "Here's another few thousand." And like you said, you got it down to like $22,000.
Which actually, when you think about it, you pay $22,000 for the next 3 years. And then you can vacation and all these perks.
And it was $450 a month was what it was going to be.
Yeah, plus a down payment. So that's a little
plus
much.
a down payment. So it was pricey, but we never planned to buy it in the first place. That's the thing, everybody should pay attention to.
I wanted my free gifts.
Exactly. We went there for the free gifts. We didn't go there to buy the vacation club. But we did come away from it thinking about how right now, there's expenses that we have that'll go away at a certain time. And when those expenses go away, it might be something we want to invest in, because around that same time, we're going to have more free time to travel if we want to.
Right.
A lot of what our life revolves around right now will change at that point. And rightfully, we can change what we do. I mean, it's funny because I thought about it afterwards and like, when you give me a list of, do you want to go, what places do you want to go to? I can check a lot of places off. But the reality is, if you were to say to me, name to me, like, 5 places you want to go to, I don't think I could come up with 5 places.
You'd take me to Europe and you'd be happy.
Because the point is, I'm not hot and bothered to go anywhere. But when you offer it to me, I'm going to check off 100 places probably. But I'm happy that we got our gifts. Like you said, there's some adjustments that we were told something that didn't happen. And what I found interesting was the manager was super nice, the salesperson was super nice, but the guy at the end from the corporate was a dick. Period.
He's just super, super rude.
And but at the same time, when you said what you said, he did not say, "Oh, that's not true. That never happens." He just basically said, "Well, if that's what you were told, call this number."
Yeah, so my guess is he hears that occasionally, because they told us if we went on a weekday we'd get a 3rd free gift, and then they told us that if we called in,
that chart that he had said that.
Yeah, and then they told us that if we called in a couple of days in advance and told them how excellent our salesperson was, that I'd get another free gift.
Yeah,
so
and we did all these
2
things.
free gifts missing. If they're not going to happen, they're not going to happen, but it's worth my time to make a phone call.
Oh yeah, can't hurt. Well, we can only benefit. We can't lose anything.
And if we don't get them, then I'm going to go next time we go to a Ducks game, and I'm going to find Zeb, and I'll be like, yo, you lied to me, bro.
So I think for me, we spent about 6 hours total from the time we left till the time we got back and everything in between. I think the nice part was just being able to spend time with you and chat and talk, and we had dinner.
Well, when we got to eyebrow talk at each other while the dude was pitching, we haven't been able to do that. We haven't done that in a while because,
It's just, wow. I mean, but, I got to give shout out to Mariano. The guy was excellent. He was friendly. He knew his job inside and out. He did a great job. And the manager, Rob, super friendly dude as well. Really appreciated it. He played his role really well. That dramatic $120,000 on there. I loved it.
And
Absolutely.
I have to say, if you're in the market for a vacation club,
that's a place to go.
Go to the Welk Resort.
But contact us first. info@yogispodcastnetwork.com. Because I'm going to tell you what. I want my freebies that go from referring people.
There's freebies for referring.
Yes.
Ooh.
I want my freebies for referring people. So
my
contact
guess is
me.
you'd get bonus freebies for being referred
Do you
by
know,
someone too.
Talking about referring people. Do you guys ever have trouble, like if you're writing a blog post or a letter or anything, you have trouble with your grammar? Do you ever have trouble with your grammar?
Yes.
And
I'm incapable of grammarizing.
I have issues with certain things that I do over and over and over again.
I also can't spell.
But how do you fix that?
Spell check?
But that's not going to fix your grammar.
Grammarly?
See, what I use is Grammarly. Grammarly is awesome. What I like about Grammarly is it has a desktop tool that you can load a document into, and then you can ask it things like, how original is the text? Like if you were trying to, take someone else's text and turn it into your own, it'll tell you how much percentage it's been cleaned up, that sort of thing.
My favorite thing about Grammarly is when you go and you're about to import a new document, it asks you what you want the tone to be. You want it to be formal or technical or casual or whatever. And if you pick casual, it lets you use contractions and funky sentences and all that stuff that would be found in casual writing. But if you pick formal, it changes it to cannot and will not, and etc. So it's really cool. It's great.
If you're interested in improving, they also send you an email weekly telling you how many vocabulary words you used that were better than other people, etc., and how good your grammar was, how bad your grammar was, what your most common mistakes were, etc. Really cool. I find that insight to be really cool. You can get started for free. Go over to yogispodcastnetwork.com/Grammarly, Grammarly. I figured I better spell it because sometimes people with bad grammar have bad spelling. And we will get a small commission for you signing up, but you're not going to cost you anything extra. So it doesn't hurt to do it. And you help us pay for the hosting for our shows and keeping the network running. So that helps out our other shows. And, your favorite blockhead is on the network. It helps him out. So get out there, yogispodcastnetwork.com/Grammarly. So that's my Grammarly discussion for the day. I think like I said, I think it's a rad tool. Like that tool, it is amazing, and it's integrating more and more and more into other tools.
The best part about how much you love Grammarly, you thought you were gonna hate it, and I was like, nay, use this thing for like a couple of days, and then you upgraded to the subscription because you like it so much.
She's not wrong.
A couple of days.
She's not wrong. She's not wrong at all. I was convinced.
It is very rare that I persuade you into downloading a software, and it's even more
It's rare that anyone persuades me to download software, to be honest.
It's even more rare that you love it that much after you
So I
download it.
So I want to kind of bring us home by talking about our new home.
New home?
We are getting out of the village.
Oh
no more
God.
village.
Oh my God.
We're going to the creek.
So excited.
We're going to the creek. We're leaving the village.
I never have to see Trash Bag Basketball Man again.
Oh my gosh. But that's just it. I was going to say.
Or Dog
you guys are used to listening to us talk about our neighbors and how rude some people are. We're going to have new stories with new characters. New characters.
Do I know what the best part of that is? I get to come up with an entire new slew of nicknames.
Yeah. And, it's kind of sad. Deborah's leaving the end of the week and going up north, and we probably won't see her for a very long time.
Bye, Deborah.
So that's kind of sad. But I'm excited about our move that we didn't really plan to make. But, we'll talk in depth in another episode down the road about why we left here and what kind of stuff we deal with while we're here. And I think you'll all be kind of on our side on this one. So
you just wait till I tell you about the friend I made in the building that was the spark of our move.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, that's for me, it was something where I didn't really want to do this until we actually, like we've told you guys for a while, we're leaving California. We've chosen our place. We don't want to talk about it yet. Maybe we have talked about it. I don't know. But
400th episode thing.
But we've made our choice, and we were going to sit here until then. But things change. We roll with the changes. We're out of here. No more. We're done.
Sounds like a plan, Lee Stanley.
So it's gonna be fun. I'm kind of excited about it. We've been in packing mode and purging mode, and this one over here worked her butt off on the weekend and cleaned off our patio.
No,
it was just this last weekend.
Closet first weekend, patio second weekend.
Yes. We have like a bunch of recyclables out there, and she just took care of that, and she just went crazy. So I was proud of her for that, and I really appreciated all the hard work. We've been uber busy, and, nothing new with that. So that's about all I got for you. You got anything to throw in there in the mix?
I'm exhausted. So
You're always exhausted.
The only thing I have to throw in is good night, everyone.
Hasta la bye-bye, Bree. Thank you for listening to the Nightly Rant.
If you enjoyed the show, please give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts or Google Play.
If you didn't enjoy the show, please just ignore that previous request for a rating.
This has been a Yogi's Podcast Network production.